Hello everyone, and kind regards from the University of Córdoba in the south of Spain. Let me introduce you to our teaching innovation project entitled Autonomous Skill-Based Learning with Continuous Assessment in the Field of Experimental Science. Myself, Marina Triviño, presented together with Maria-Dolores Rey, María Ángeles Castillejo Sanchez, and Ana María Maldonado, all members of the research group of agroforestry and plant biochemistry, proteomic, and system biology led by Jesus Jorrinov. Our group is focused on multiomic analysis of old moke, Quercus ilex. Side by side to our research, we are integrated in a consolidated teaching innovation group since we always consider the academy very relevant. Under what principles? We have a great coherence based on continuous active learning and competence-based learning as a fundamental axis in the training process of our students. When elaborating this project, the main question was, what does the university aim for graduates? The answer is that the Spanish university aims by law to have acquired knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values by the end of the academic stage. However, the traditional system of the master class and final exam makes this path to be quite restricted to fresh ideas and critical thinking. It is well known that success of skill-based learning, even if in experimental science, at least in our university, is not a common methodology. It happens in most of the cases due to the large number of students and the energy demanding it results for the lecturers. With this in mind, we put on the table the objectives avoiding the student to acquire the information only from the lecturers. With this method, applied in the subject of enzymology in the second year of the biotechnology and biochemistry degrees, we motivate the student to solve practical cases in a scientific but creative way. It is established based on a teaching innovation project approved for the academic year 2023-2024 by the University of Córdoba, even if it has been gradually implemented since previous years in coherence with our group track record in the teaching level. The students are challenged to solve practical cases and trained to discuss scientific results from their experiments carried out in the laboratory demonstrations. In addition, we encourage them to get into the habit of reviewing scientific papers to follow the state of art in research with enzymes involved. Because the students' contribution matters, we consider this methodology enriches the subject and the learning process. We are aware that the student involvement in this subject and assimilation of context far exceeds at the years before the implementation of this system, when carried out using traditional teaching methods. But what is our challenging proposal about? We consider this method is a great disruption in the classic pathway. In contrast to the straight line shown before representing the magistral lecturers, students take part of their learning process. For their evaluation, students are challenged with daily questions and weekly tasks. Find here some examples. On the other hand, we proposed a weekly research to gather the scientific documents published in high-impact journals, as Nature and Science, that mention in the manuscript the use of enzyme or increase the knowledge about any of them. They elaborate a manuscript reporting the experiments and discussing the result of the practical session at the laboratory during demonstrations. In order to get familiar with research, they are asked to autonomously explore an enzyme of their choice. Although guided by the teacher, they prepare a report about it. It allows them to deeply investigate it and get involved as if it were their own research project. This is an example we sent them, and here you can see an example of one of the finished works they presented. As key objective, we focus on oral scientific communication. We take into account how important it will be for their future career to develop good communication skills. For this reason, we take special care in the development of a manuscript that the students might defend orally, using scientific language and answering high-level questions. What is our conclusion so far? Students become better at acquiring knowledge and developing their own critical thinking. Teachers also notice improvement in their teaching activity, with active follow-up and attention to their lessons. During the 6 years developing this methodology, the record track clearly shows no students below the threshold for the passing score. This way, we propose this path as an ideal one to be followed in other experimental science subjects. On top of it, making use of the new technologies, the whole process will be collected by the student in a dynamic and interactive ebook, which they will be able to consult from any dispositive, including their smartphones, even during subsequent courses in their bachelor degree. Thank you very much for listening, and again, kind regards from the University of Córdoba.